This slideshow presentation will give you information of the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy and maybe answer any questions that you have about the test. So what is the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy? It is an award that recognizes students proficient in 2 or more languages. It'll appear on your high school diplomas and your transcripts. It'll also demonstrate your biliteracy skills to colleges or employers, and it encourages the study of world languages and English. So how do you obtain the Seal of Biliteracy? You have to make sure that you meet your English language proficiency requirements. You have to demonstrate proficiency in world language, and you will have to complete the application process. So what are the English language proficiency requirements? There are so many options to assess your English proficiency. We can get your scores for the ACT, ACT Aspire, if you have proficient scores on the ELPA exam, maybe the PSAT, the SAT, or if you pass any of the AP Language or Literature English exams. There are world language proficiency requirements as well. So just like English, there are a few options to assess your world language proficiency. If you pass the AP language exam, that is a proficient requirement. If you pass the STAMPS assessment, the STAMPS assessment is the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy. And then if you have proficient scores on these other 2 language exams as well. So for the application process, you have to obtain PDFs of your scores, of your passing scores in both languages. You will have to email Ms. Maldonado for application instructions. Also note, once you have received the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy, you do not have to test again unless you would like to add another language to that. So how do you prepare for the seal? There are some language study tips. You can take a practice test that's linked on this presentation. You have to constantly be practicing all 4 language skills. Those are reading, speaking, writing, and listening. You can engage with native speakers when possible, maybe use language learning apps and online resources, and just familiarize yourself with different themes. That could be school life, hobbies, interests, families, holidays, etc. Celebrating biliteracy. So you do get recognition at a graduation ceremony by wearing a medal. You get a special seal on your diploma and notation on transcript. Over 100 students at West have successfully earned their Seal of Biliteracy for 1 or more of the following languages on this slide. Arkansas is introducing 3 pathways to earn a high school diploma. So if your goal is to obtain the diploma with merit, students must earn the Seal of Biliteracy. Your qualifying scores and assessments. So if you're wondering if you have qualifying scores in English, these would be the required scores. So you could take your time to look through these slides and see if you meet those requirements. It would be a 19 in both reading and English for the ACT. Those would be ACT Aspire scores for English Language Arts scores, the ELPA, the PSAT, the SAT, and your AP exam. So if you score a 3 or higher on the AP Language or Literature exam, that would be a qualifying score. You do need some world language score requirements as well. So if you took an AP Language and Culture exam and you scored at least a 3, that would be a qualifying score. If you pass the STAMPS test, which is Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy, with an intermediate mid, which is level 5, or higher in all 4 domains, so that'll be reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Those would be qualifying scores. If you would like to sign up for the test, you can fill out this form that's linked on the presentation. Just know that the registration deadline is February 1st. And if you believe you have already qualified for the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy, you can reach out to Mrs. Maldonado at that email and ask her any questions you may have.